Hi, this is Darrell Kramer here with picks and predictions of the 2014 Wimbledon and Tennis Championships. Hi, Darrell Kramer here with picks for the 2014 Wimbledon Tennis Championships for the men and women's draw. First, I'm going to start out with the men's draw. Looking at the men's draw, it's really difficult to predict who will win this year's tournament. Looking at the results, it looks like the Big Four has dissolved this year. We have a new Swiss number one in Stan, the man, Wawrinka. He is currently number 3 and is ranked ahead of Roger Federer. Looking at his results, it seems to me that the Cinderella story for Wawrinka is going to end for the moment at Wimbledon. I don't see Wawrinka advancing past the 4th round at SW19 this year. I see Federer doing a lot better than and being more of a threat than Wawrinka at this year's Wimbledon. He is the reigning champion at Halle this year, who has just recently won it for the 7th time, and I see that his grass court success will carry on into Wimbledon this year. Looking at the other contenders, which would be maybe Nadal, which most people would consider to be Nadal, Djokovic, or Murray, I see out of those 3, perhaps the best that will do well would be Djokovic. I see him repeating, going back to the semifinals again. Not quite advancing to the finals, but he'll advance the semifinals once more. And Murray, he's just recently went through some changes. He just changed to his new coach, Amelie Marismo, former Wimbledon champion, and I don't really see it making much of a difference, at least in short term. I don't really see Murray this year, the defending Wimbledon champion, really making a dent in this year's draw. I don't see him getting any further than the quarterfinals of this year's tournament, and I feel that there are other players that have more of a legitimate shot than Murray of advancing or doing better in this year's draw and advancing beyond the quarterfinals, such as young guns such as Grigor Dimitrov, this year's Queen's Club champion, or Milos Raonic, or Jurek Janowicz of Poland. I feel that they will really cause a splash in this year's Wimbledon, but I don't really feel that either one of these young players will win the tournament, however. And as for Nadal, the fortune of Nadal, you heard it here first. Rafael Nadal will be upset in the 3rd round of this year's Wimbledon. He will not advance past the 3rd round of this year's Wimbledon. He has a very difficult draw. He is going to face some very tough seasoned grass court veterans, or he may potentially face them, like grass court veterans such as Dr. Ivo Karlovic, and in the 2nd round he will have another rematch from the 2012 Wimbledon against Lucas Rosal, which I'm sure will have no problem advancing against. But as for the third round, he may potentially face, going back to what I said before, Dr. Ivo Karlovic, or the Canadian spoiler, who is also a great grass court player, Frank Denisevich. I mean, by no means do I feel that Frank Denisevich has a legitimate shot of doing well at Wimbledon, but he's going to play a spoiler role this year. If he advances past Karlovic, he or Karlovic will cause a lot of trouble. Cause a lot of trouble for Rafael Nadal this year. Okay, so you heard it from me first. Nadal will be upset in the third round. And my prediction for this year's Wimbledon, and the men to win this year's Wimbledon, drum roll, like I said before, Roger Federer, the Federer Express. He'll win it yet another time, adding to his illustrious career, winning his 18th unprecedented Grand Slam title. Okay, now we go on to the women's side. Now the women's side is quite interesting. Heavy favorite for this year's Wimbledon is Serena Williams, but I really feel that she's going to have some problems. She'll do well. I think she's going to at least get into the quarterfinals. And I haven't really studied the draw well enough to be exact, be precise on the women's draw. I haven't been following the women's tour I haven't been following it very intensively this year, but I don't really feel that Serena has the heart, or she has the focus this year to be to win Wimbledon. There's a lot of other players out there, like younger players, who are really determined to win it, and she's going to need a lot more firepower. She's going to need a lot more dedication to really cause a storm in this year's Wimbledon. And one of the people that may get in her way or will do much better than her this year is the Canadian phenom, Eugenie Bouchard. She's won it as a junior a few years ago, and I think she's going to win it again this year. She's ready. This year's Australian Open and Roland Garros semi-finalist Eugenie Bouchard will be the champion and take home the title for this year's Wimbledon. Okay, this is Darrell Kramer for the 2014 picks and predictions of Wimbledon 2014. Until next time, goodbye.